Shalom. First fullness on us, start this lesson off by giving all the praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh Bashim Yahushai Bashim Rakakudash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Honors to all the brothers who are fervently pushing the word in sincerity and in faith. And shalom to all the sincere believers. Now this lesson is going to be based on 2 dead after a house fire in Harlan, Iowa. So through the Spirit, I'm going to read this article, get some precepts, and Lord's will you're edified. It says 2 people are dead after a house fire in Harlan on Tuesday afternoon. The fire started just before 4 p.m. Tuesday in a home near 3rd and Court Streets. A release from the Shelby County Sheriff's Office states. Emergency crews got to the scene and saw the house was full of smoke. They first believed 3 people were inside, but found 2 victims. Life-saving measures were performed on the victims after they were brought outside. Both were then taken to the hospital, where they were pronounced dead. There were no other injuries according to the release. The identities of the victims have not yet been released, as families need to be notified first. SCSO and the Harlan Fire Department are looking into the cause of the fire. Well, the cause of the fire is the Lord's spirits of vengeance. Ecclesiasticus 39:28, there be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. Verse 29, fire and hail and famine and death, all these were created for vengeance. And this fire led to the death of those 2 people. And that was the vengeance of the Heavenly Father. Deuteronomy 32:39, see now that I, even I am he, and there is no power with me. I kill and I make alive, I wound and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. And through his judgments, the Heavenly Father wounds and kills people every day. And yesterday, with this fire, the Lord killed 2 people. And there was nothing that could have been done to save them, even though the medics performed life-saving measures on them. First Samuel 2:6, the Lord Yahweh killeth and maketh alive. He bringeth down to the grave and bringeth up. And that's what happened. The Lord put those 2 people to death, and he used his spirits of vengeance to execute that judgment. Job 4:7, remember I pray thee, whoever perished being innocent, or where were the righteous cut off? And the answer is that no one has ever perished being innocent, nor were the righteous ever cut off. So those 2 people that died, they were not innocent in the eyes of the Lord. That's why they didn't survive that judgment. Verse 8, even as I have seen, they that plow iniquity and sow wickedness reap the same. And the Lord is bringing heavy, deadly judgments upon wicked people with whom he is angry with. Psalm 7:11, Yahweh judgeth the righteous, and Yahweh is angry with the wicked every day. And that's right. And even if when the judgment hits, even if in that moment the people weren't doing anything wicked in that particular moment, they were still wicked because of things that they had done. And the Lord had already decided what type of judgment was going to befall them. Psalms 9:16. The Lord Yahweh is known by the judgment which he executeth. The wicked is snared in the work of his own hands. Higgaion Selah. And like I said, this was judgment from the Heavenly Father. This wasn't just some random incident where a fire got started and then the two people in the house couldn't escape and they died. Like, no, the Lord set that whole thing up. There's nothing random about the judgments of the Lord. Proverbs 19:23. The fear of the Lord Yahweh tendeth to life, and he that hath it shall abide satisfied. He shall not be visited with evil. And majority of people out here do not fear the Lord. They don't believe that the Lord even exists, to be honest. They they just believe that when things happen, it's random, you know. They believe that when fires and storms and tempests and earthquakes happen, that it's just, like Mother Nature. They don't believe that it's the judgments of the Lord. When shootings and stabbings happen, they think that it was just done by bad people. They don't know that, the Lord used those people as spirits of vengeance to execute his judgments. If they understood that everything that happens is all according to the will of the Heavenly Father, then they would be afraid. Because obviously the Heavenly Father is in control of all these different events that take place. So if you're on the Heavenly Father's bad side, then more than likely he's going to send some judgment upon you. But see, these wicked, simple-minded people, they're going to have to learn the hard way. They're going to have to learn the hard way that the Heavenly Father does exist and that he is not, for the few people who do believe in the Heavenly Father but don't believe that, it's Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. They believe that for the people who believe that the Heavenly Father is some white man, they're going to find out that the Heavenly Father is not an Edomite. And his only begotten Son is not an Edomite either. And these people are going to find out that the Lord is not all about loving everybody the way that they've been taught in Christianity. The Lord daily sends heavy judgments upon wicked people that have angered him, that have provoked him unto wrath. And because the Lord is no respecter of persons, men, women, and children get judged. And in regards to the children, you see that judgment in the form of these school shootings primarily. Little kids just getting wiped out. Ecclesiastes 3:1. To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven. Verse 2, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted. And in this particular judgment, those two people, it was their time to die. That's why they couldn't escape that fire. And like I read in Deuteronomy 32 and 39, at the end it says, neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. That's why the medics tried life-saving measures on those two people, but in the end there was nothing that could be done to save them, because the Heavenly Father didn't want them to be saved. he had already decided that they were going to die. And so the judgment played out fully the way that he wanted it to. Hebrews 10:31, it is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power. And that's right. And this is a primary example of that. The Lord brought that judgment, and those people could not escape because the Heavenly Father had already set it up that they were not going to escape. This is why you're supposed to fear the Lord, because the Lord could either deliver you or destroy you. Your life is in the hands of the Lord. You don't have free will. You can't do whatever you want to do. You can't save yourself. And if the Lord doesn't allow it, then nobody else can save you either. And the Lord is going to continue to manifest examples of that. And those of us of the hopeful elect are going to continue to understand it. And we're going to continue to fear the Lord. And we're going to continue to move accordingly. While these wicked, simple-minded people continue to not take anything seriously, and the heavy, deadly judgments of the Lord continuously will befall them. So with that, I'm going to wrap it up here. In closing, I want to give all the praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakudash, the Wadi Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, for putting the spirit on me to do this lesson. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Honors to all the brothers who are fervently pushing the word in sincerity and in faith, and shalom to all the sincere believers. Hope you all stay strong, stay safe, stay fervent, stay circumspect, stay prayed up, and Adawan Ratazah. Till next time, shalom.